are back with episode 35 of Brentocast. Who'da thunk it? 22 days have passed since the recording of episode 34, the one with the buzzards, which I believe was recorded live in my vehicle at the boat launch to Baden Lake in Baden. Today I'm back in the studio, Secret Studios that is, which is the name that I give to my in-house recording production studios, even though most of what I record here is actually work tapes that I'll take to a larger and much superior studio called Snug Records in Faith, North Carolina. Been doing a lot of work up there, making a lot of progress. Really tempted to share with you guys some of that music today. Really only have one song that's ready for release. The others are various levels of completion. But yeah, it's tough to talk about music. It's like the famous Billy Joel lyric, "There's a new band in town, but you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine." I need to share that music, and I'm eager to do so, but I want to do it the right way. And I'm really starting to focus on the idea of releasing singles as opposed to albums, although everything is a part of a collection. I digress. Southern Lane. This is the first item on my notes today, and rightfully so, because I've been spending every Wednesday for the past 2 months up at Snug Records, along with my production partner, Harrison, and we've been producing the best songs that I've ever done by a long shot. And part of that is, Harrison's genius on instrumentation, but the other is that I can focus on production more now that I don't have to worry about training myself up to play a bass line or whatever on a song. I don't typically play bass because I got Harrison. So it's really worked out very serendipitously, he and I working together. And I do feel like some of the best, if not the very best, music that I've ever produced is coming about these days, and we're kind of at that point where it gets exciting because we start sending things off to mix and tuning things and getting things just so getting close to that point where you go, okay, it's done. I could keep tweaking forever, but this is actually done. So that's exciting. I've returned to making videos of these podcasts when I'm here in the studio, and today is no exception. I don't know that I'll actually share these videos, but if I ever want to, they're on my GoPro account. By the way, if you're a media creator, GoPro.com has an amazing deal. I think it's like $49 a year, unlimited storage of your GoPro footage at full resolution. And if you use ProTune, which is sort of the fattest file type that they have, you can really take up some space on some hard drives. So this is an awesome thing, and practically giving it away at that price. Southern Lane, like I said, we've been going through a flurry of activity. We've also been working hard, just as an aside, to finish off some of the songs for the Ansel Brown record, which that album has drug on for like 2 years now. And I'm hopeful that we can get to a point where Harrison and I, our part of that can be done, and it'll just be leave it in Ansel's hands to finish up the vocals or what have you, because that could have easily turned into a 10-year project. And, we have a lot of other work to do in that time frame. Speaking of which, I think we're going to be taking May. Harrison's got other obligations, so apart from a show or two, I think we're going to be I'm going to be focusing on cutting just a couple more guide tracks, but mostly just refining songs on Southern Lane and getting that album ready to release. The first song from that album is called Shortcake. I'm going to share a bit of that with you here, but it is actually completely mixed now, so that'll be our first single, and I'll share a bit of that at the end of the song, at the end of the podcast. I digress. Sorry. Yeah, so what else is happening? Delilah is in school full time now, which is amazing. So when she's not sick with the flu or something, which happens about once a month because of being in pre-K with all these other little kids, little petri dishes, little chubby-handed petri dishes, she is really loving it. But that means that I have a little bit of time almost every day to work on little projects and move things forward that previously had to kind of wait until that one day a week or whatever that I had open. But she seems to be really enjoying it, and I do feel like it's not cheap, but it's money well spent, because I can see it just sort of preparing her and making her talk more like a grown up. And just it's amazing how fast the brain develops in kids, like around age 3 and 4. And the socialization and the acceptance of certain rules. I got to be here at a certain time. I got to do this when they say, and that sort of thing. It's important to get that prior to starting public school. Although if I have my way, she's not going to be in public school, but we'll see if we can work that out. Also, gymnastics continue at Stanley County Gymnastics for Delilah. The other day we were out at the park, and I had Beauty with me, and as such, Beauty is an elderly dog, so I kind of have to keep, my hands on her and stuff. And Delilah, I wasn't able to go and kind of hold her at the monkey bars like I, usually would do. She goes out there, and she's 100 feet away from me, so I can't get to her. And she jumps out on the monkey bars, and she walks those bad boys end to end. And when she would miss with her lead hand, going for the next rung, she would just hold herself with the hand she had and then just reach out again and grab it. So, her strength is very impressive. Her grip strength is very impressive for someone her size, not even 4 years old yet. Can hold her body weight for, I would say, over 2 minutes easily. I can't do that, so most kids can't do that either. So it's pretty awesome. And I observed in the girls that are up in their teens, they're 14, 15-year-olds, they're basically superhumans. None of them are overweight. Most of them are just exceptionally strong. And this is really cool to see. They actually have a lot of young boys there as well. And likewise, I think, gymnastics have turned that corner from being the sissy thing for a guy to do to, look how strong this makes people. And, little kids are starting to get that, and who wouldn't want to be a superhero, right? But money well spent, and I plan to keep her in that as long as she has an interest and enjoys it. And right now it's just organized play, but it's play with a purpose that makes her stronger and develops these skills. So that's pretty cool. And you get to see in the older students sort of where the training goes, and really it's just practice. They do a lot of stretching. The older girls class does a lot of stretching, and then they just do some basic skills. And I haven't really noticed them working on routines yet, so maybe I'm just not there. Obviously I'm only there when Delilah's there, which is just a short 40 minutes or 45 minutes a week. But it's I look forward to seeing her progress in that. So old Beauty is really slowing down. She's still happy, and I don't think she's in perpetual pain or anything, but she's had weak back legs for a few years, and I noticed her teeth aren't doing great. So lots of time I'll sort of chew some of her food up for her, and I just try to keep it generally soft things that, meats and stuff that she likes. And but we get her groomed about once a month, once every 6 weeks or so, I'd say. And this time it just worked out where I could take her and get Delilah, and we went to the dog park and played with her this week after her grooming. And she enjoyed being out, but she's not as spry as she used to be, and she's slowing down. And, that eventual day is coming where she won't be around. And I'm really happy to be able to get these. Delilah absolutely adores her, and I think she likes Delilah too. And so I get these great pictures of her. Poor thing, she's got cataracts in both eyes, but I get these great pictures of her, and she really still has that smile, that puppy smile that when we first, when I first got her and we first became, buddies. Beauty is she still has that joy being around me, and I really like that. And the weather nice. Getting her out is fun, and I hope she lasts many, many more years, but who knows. Now, the thing that makes me really think she's slowing down, apart from her, she hasn't been able to walk super well for a long time, but she can still get up and down the stairs when she wants to. It's just that motivation. It's worked for her. She doesn't just pop down the stairs anymore, lightheartedly. But she will go to sleep on the couch. I'll put her on the couch. And used to, she didn't like being on the couch because she wanted to be upstairs on the bed. And she'd go up there, and if she couldn't get on the bed, she would just lay beside of it. And now I'll put her on the couch. She stays there till I come home. I'll turn on dog TV. It's a little cooler downstairs. That's why I've started putting her down there. And she has food both places, so there's always availability of food. And, I give them milk a couple times a week, water the rest of the time. And then she gets soft food all the time. And she always has an option for cat food or, hard dog kibble. But she'll go to sleep, and you come home, and before she'd be barking before you got in the door. Now she'll actually sleep for a minute or two until you actually, make enough noise to wake her up. And she doesn't wake up fast like she used to. She'll be in a dream, and she'll just stay in the dream, And I don't know, just I'm not looking forward to the day where she doesn't wake up, because she's my girl, and she filled a big, hole in my heart when my dad passed away, and I'm gonna miss that. And happier news, Chris has a new puppy, Raven, who's a cane corso, And she's a big little thing, so to speak. She looks like a Great Dane right now, all long and lanky, all head and limbs. And they turn into big Mastiff dogs. We had Nova, which unfortunately disappeared on us, and don't know exactly what happened to her. But so he went out and bought this $2,500 dog, and only to realize that she throws up when she rides, and she really, really hates a leash. Well, in an effort to help him sort of train her, I've started taking her on my little coffee dates that I do with Mom at Baden Coffee, 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays. So I set her up. I put blankets and stuff in the back of the of my Ford Edge, and she can put her head up over the seat, but she's not up, all in everybody's lap getting jostled around. And then if she does throw up, it's on those blankets. But she fussed a little bit going over there, but once we were over there, she was fine. And I took her in, I literally carried her up front to show the James and all while I was getting my coffee made. I get up there, I hear, "Oh my God, sir, can I please play with your puppy?" And I look over, there's this like 20-something girl, and she's really wanting to play with a dog. So I was like, "Sure, here." And I'm literally holding her, like I'm holding the dog like a sack of groceries. I'm like, "Sure, I'll set her down." So she goes over there. And one thing about this dog's demeanor is she absolutely responds to people just loving on her. She loves it. If you put her on your lap, she's like a throw blanket. She never, ever has to get up. You put her on your lap, she'll just lay there with you, petting her forever, and extremely chill. And I don't know, it's like there's been research that does something to your blood pressure. It just really chills you out, having a dog to pet on like that. And one thing about the Cane Corso breed, apart from their gentle nature and loyalty, but they are really covered in a fur that's like a fine fur, and it feels like silk. It's just really easy to pet them and sort of chill out. And Mom and I had a great time. Mom loves her too. So we hung out there for about 45 minutes, put her back in the car to go back, and no problem at all. She sat back there with a little head popped up, didn't offer to throw up or anything, didn't pee or poop. So it was good. It was successful. So I figure if we start establishing that's what we're doing every Thursday morning, it'll kind of train her. So when she goes on longer trips with Chris, she doesn't have any accidents, But very cool little dog. So this next weekend, this weekend is Saturday right now. Next weekend, actually next Thursday, I'll return from my final trip to my late friend Bill Herman's home, and I'll do final scans of his house and all of his art that he painted on the walls in his house in the basement and his living room, and just get his general area, scan his little treehouse fort village that he built, and then I'll get the final marionette puppet things that he made, posable figures, and unfortunately the giant ones, I was not able to come up with a solution to be able to haul those back, so I won't be able to take his giant 10-foot tall dragon and rideable ostrich and a lot of his bigger artworks are just, I guess, going to have to be thrown away, and that's painful, but at the same time I couldn't do those justice, whereas the small ones, there will be some way for me to eventually fix those up and present them and have a little art show or something. I'll be able to have a disposition for those that his work doesn't just go unknown, and he'll be able to be appreciated as the artist that he was. Very few people knew that side of him. I did not even know, and I consider myself one of his best friends, certainly from high school and his time in North Carolina. I didn't even know that. I mean, he had mentioned it, but he really undersold it. So, now having those puppets to, as time becomes a little bit more available to work on them, I'm going to make me a little workshop for them and start upfitting them to make them a little more posable and make the heads a little more secure, and then I'll display them and or scan and present on a website. I already have the website in place. I just haven't fleshed out the content yet. After 17 years, I'm about to move my website from SiteGround. There are some difficulties with SiteGround. They're generally a good host, but I can't cross-post anything to Facebook because I think that's a Russian based site, and unfortunately, it prevents me from cross-posting my stories to Facebook, which really sucks because that's how I would share them. And right now, the viewership is basically just me, So I'm going to be moving that over to the host that we use for Albemarle Nutrition, and my good friend Joe Black will be administering that for me. So hopefully that'll mean a new design and a little bit more flexibility and taking all that, like I've got probably over 20 some years of content on there, at least 17 years of content. And I want to present it a little bit more, it's really mostly just for me, like a moving diary and stuff. And when I'm gone, if anybody wants to look at it, I'll try to set up perpetual hosting for at least, a while after I'm gone. Just depends on how things work out, obviously. But I want to at least give the opportunity for Delilah to look back and be able to see that stuff in a chronological order, because it's basically her life being documented, it's the Delilah show all day, all the time. 30 minutes of edited video at least per week, and that means a lot more shots. So, yeah, it'll be fun, at least for her to look back to. So one of the things that I've done to help Liam out is basically allow him to trade some of his extra gaming stuff to me for his insurance money. So as is the case, I got a really cool Steam Deck, which lets you play all the games off your Steam account on a really nice handheld. It's kind of a new experience because it's more like playing on a PC than other gaming devices I've had. So anytime that I'm having to go somewhere where I really just have to sit with nothing to do, I'll take that with me. And I've gotten into playing Skyrim, finally, a game that's been out 10 years, but I have a couple friends telling me how great it was, and they got me into it. I don't know. I haven't even gotten into the mods yet, so there's 10 years worth of mods for this game. But basically, this is the open world, and it's sort of set in a fantasy world with dragons and whatnot, and various classes of players you can play as. And I've only just gotten into it, but it's beautiful, and it's really fun to just kind of explore and take little screenshots, and I've been having a great time with it. So that has been a lot of fun. Now, before I get off the subject of Bill's, just as an aside, this will be my last trip up to Ohio, and to go see Bill's place, because his house will be going on the market shortly after that. So I really have to plan out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to scan things, how I'm going to document, and I got to not let Nancy sidetrack me like she did last time. And she's already tried to do that by doubling this trip up and making me take her halfway into the trip all the way to Virginia Beach, which is a whole other trip. So I'm just going to flatly refuse that. And I'm going to focus. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to do what I got to do. And if I don't get it done in the first day, I'm going to do it the second day, no matter what she has scheduled, because she definitely hijacked my trip last time. So I'm going to make this about Bill. Like, that was the whole point of it. And gonna be focused on that, and hopefully I'll get everything I need, and I'll be able to kind of say goodbye to Bill's home. It's Bill and of course his sister Patty. It's their home place as well, and he has an older brother that lives in the area as well. She grew up there till 14, and I'm not exactly sure when Bill went back there, but after his time in North Carolina, he found himself back there, and that became his place. He added on to it and did all this artwork there. So it'll just be like kind of a last memory of my good friend Bill, who always tended to put a smile on my face, and I miss the guy, I really do. But I'm glad to be able to do this for him, and I just want to make it sort of like a bookend on my knowing and hanging out with, and just loving the guy for who he was, But there are other interesting projects on the horizon. Some time ago, my friend from the old filmmaking and horror convention days, Kenny Caperton, owner and operator of the little cottage industry, Myers House NC. You can check his website out. I believe, I'm going to check it right now, MyersHouseNC.com. It's hard to describe the uniqueness of this place, but it's basically the old a house that was designed to look just like the house in Halloween. And apart from that, Kenny is really a preservationist of props and old films, and he does these on location viewings of old classic movies, horror movies, Beetlejuice. I know what he did last summer, The Blob, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, for a few examples. He'll go set up screenings in these places where these films were filmed at. Super cool stuff all over the place. That, and I always joke that Kenny is a professional vacationer, because he goes to locations that are prominent from films, and just gets the most amazing photographs, I'll just say. Apart from being like just one of the nicest guys I've ever met, certainly in that whole my whole, 12, 14-year journey into horror films and filmmaking and extreme fandom. Probably the nicest person I met and all that. He reached out to me about helping him create some drone videos because he remembered that I was into drones, I guess. And so we're going to do a little film project to document that his restoration of the car from the film It Follows. Now, It Follows, you don't even have to be a horror film aficionado to appreciate this film because it's one of the most scary films, and it's scary with a message, actually, in my opinion. But It Follows is just an excellent film, and he's sort of obsessed with it, and he started collecting these props from it. He got the pool, and now he has the car, which actually went on to be used in another production in Canada, so they really changed it, and he's having it sort of put back to the state that it was in the It Follows film. But if you haven't seen that film, I can't recommend it highly enough. But anyway, going to be going up to Kenny's home, which is about 2 hours or so away, and doing some drone shots and just a day of filming to sort of document that house. And there'll be perhaps some events that he goes to with that car in the near future. And just check out the website, myershousenc.com. And you can read about his own set cinema series as well, which I want to get out to some of those as well because it's just fun stuff to do. And a lot of them happen to be in North Carolina, which is crazy. Blue Velvet. Actually, most of these events are sold out. Kenny, you got to hook me up, man, especially for the ones in North Carolina. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Curry, North Carolina. I did not know that was even shot there. I'm going to have to figure out where that's at. Anywho, fun events, cool guy, excited to see him again after so long. I probably haven't seen him for about 4 or 5 years, and it seems like something really fun to do. So I'm updating my drone skills. I might even get a new drone for this. The one that I've got would be sufficient. I've actually got 2 operating drones right now. The one that I have would be sufficient, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get a new one between now and then because it's going to take a couple months to finish retrofitting that car. I understand, but anyway, it's something I'm really excited about, and which leads me into the next thing. It's probably time for me to upgrade my DSLR. I've had that camera for so many years, and I feel like I've done the greatest work that I could do with it. Barring getting any more really expensive lenses. I've got $1,000 lens, and the only requirement for my new camera is that it be able to use that lens, baby. But there are some cameras out there, the Blackmagic cameras and stuff, that come with like an affixed lens. You can't change the lenses, but supposedly they're just point and shoot, and everything looks awesome. So who knows, man? I mean, who knows what's coming down the chute? I hope to accomplish some great work with the camera that I have, but maybe between now and then, who knows, maybe I get another one. Never can tell. Never say never, right? I see that I'm running a bit long, and the camera did just click off, so I guess it's probably a good place to end this song. And going to go out on a high note with a sneak peek at my unreleased song, but will be the first single from my album. It is called Shortcake, and I hope you like it. And we'll talk to you guys in episode 36, whenever that may be.
Shortcake, where have you been? Haven't seen your face and I don't know when. Never knew if I'd ever see you again. Shortcake, where have you been? Shortcake, you done me wrong. Took me for granted, so I wrote down the song. Turns out I'm a real dude and you were so wrong. Shortcake, you done me wrong. You'll never know. I stood in my window, I was watching you go. It's infatuation, it'll never go. Maybe someday you'll know. What in the world has time done to me? It seems I just don't care anymore. There was a time when you run to me instead of sliding out of the door. the breaks, baby, I still got soul. I kept it together, let the love you stole finally let you go. Just a season between two lost weekends. We were together all the time we could spend. My last teenage summer surely gone.